though you were told, I don't think you realised the significance of it till it happened. So as from the 1st of January, bang, your money just went.
As of 1st of January, I would be $176 less off.
$270 a fortnight.
$250.
$130 a week.
It's $120 a fortnight.
I cried my whole child's 8th birthday. I cried for the whole day. I don't usually raise my voice and cry in Centrelink, but on the day after my son's birthday, I did, and I'm glad the police weren't called.
I actually couldn't even afford, Christmas coming up, everything like that. My brother bought presents for her. I was really quite devastated because I knew that I couldn't even work full time until the end of the school holidays, which was the end of January.
A bit low, you're on this low status. I'm angry about it. I'm angry about it because what they're doing is they're breeding the poor. And I think on the world scale, we've been condemned by the UN.
I feel like I've been slumped into someone's, in a position where I'm looked at as being a bludger, I'm looked at as being a leech, I'm looked at as having a good life and living off someone else's dollar.
Because with New Start, I couldn't.
There just wasn't enough for
Wasn't
rent,
enough.
bills, groceries,
Yes,
4 boys.
Wasn't enough. By myself, I have to go to school to learn English. Weekend, I go to clean people's house to get extra money, and then I will fulfill my children's need.
I couldn't buy my son's school books, school uniforms, school shoes. My youngest son here, Ewan, is cystic fibrosis, and I have him swimming twice a week. I've cut that down to 1, and it's really hard. You have to tell people about your financial situation, which is really hard, to be able to, get behind and let them understand that you will pay it, and can be quite demoralising.
So he's going to gymnastics. We can't do that now, and it was only $14 every Saturday. So now we're lucky to have $2 left after rent and grocery shopping, and $20 petrol is paid, out of the New Start. He's seen me crying, and he's seen me totally lose my shit.
There might be a school excursion form, a levy form that's been kept in their school bag or hidden. They don't want to stress me out with the burden and the stresses of having to send them to these activities.
I suppose there have just been that many times now that I've had to say no, that she knows we're poor now. And she actually says things sometimes about, what kind of clothes we have and whether we can get new ones, because she doesn't want to look poor at school. I also wrecked my car in February and I couldn't replace it. I just didn't have the capacity to do that. So we're still without a car, which made winter in Melbourne very interesting, getting to and from school. Sometimes I run out of washing powder. It's that basic.
Kids will go to bed, you're sitting there on your own, and then you'll look in the wallet and you'll think, oh, okay, well, what can we do, And God love my boys, they'll ask people, would you like me to mow your lawn, or, but I don't want them doing that either, because they're too young to be doing jobs like that. They're men's jobs, not kids' jobs. Within saying that, I actually do that here as well. I mow lawns. That was how I got my extra hours. I mow lawns, I got reception, and as from next week, I'll be running a play group. So I'm over, and I work in a coffee shop. So it's not like I do one job, but it's only different, like a few hours every day. So
There are a lot of things that kids miss out on, you know, being in a sole parent family. They don't have the dream of the mum and the dad. There's no one to help with the extra load of the homework. You know, I feel like I need to take on a lot of roles.
Be the cook, I've got to be the cleaner, I've got to be the, you know, the funny person, I've got to be the very strict person. Oh, Mum, I want this. Oh, Mum, I want that. I can't buy that. I don't have enough money. Do you want to eat tonight?
You know, we are all different. I fight. Now I study. I got a job. Life is getting better. What about others who are not strong?
Yeah. Being a single mum, I don't have many people to rely on. It's just basically me and my children. I don't ask Salvation Army, I don't ask St. Vinny's, I don't ask any of them for any help. I make sure all my money that I get from Centrelink is to provide for the care of my children.
See, I've been getting very tired lately, and I try to pick up the books and I think, there's something wrong with me, I've just got to get a little bit better, and I realise it's probably the stress that's making me just as tired. I really need to finish this course, and even if I had one day a week it would be great. I don't know what is ahead. I really don't. There's nothing on the horizon that makes me see that this situation is going to get any better, and I think that's the bearing down feeling that I have every day. My thought process every single day is worry, worry, worry.
You know, I am scared. I do fear that when I'm out of work, when I'm in between contracts, what will that mean for my kids? Will that mean that I'll be able to still live in a home?
I don't know what I'm going to do. I seriously don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know, probably go back to being homeless again.
The things that the kids miss out on as a consequence of these cuts is to partake in normal social healthy activities with their peers, being part of that community and playing sports together and being part of that.
I don't want my kids to end up like a lot of kids around here on the street and getting into mischief. $48 I pay a week just for my children to do different sports.
A lot of those activities are actually, they're not just teaching kids how to do something new, and they're not just a luxury social item or something like that. You know, being a part of your local community is actually really important. Again, part of that safety, it's just the village raising the child concept.
Bullying, racism, there's a lot of it around here.
What about depression? Do you think there's that in the mix?
Yes, because there's a lot of our kids hurting themselves, cutting, some of them trying to commit suicide. Depends whether you get to them in time. The money they do get, they haven't got enough to do what they want. Like, I know with the Aboriginal kids and ones from TAFE, they're involved in a lot of sport, and that's that age group. But a lot of them can't afford it. So if they can't afford it, then they don't go, then they're going and doing other things, mixing with the wrong crowds. And you see some beautiful kids turning out to be horror, you know. But it's not all their fault.
No.
We're going to look back at this time as a very shameful part of our history, particularly in single parent families. The kids are a lot more aware of things, and they're already growing up on the outside of society. So to then make it even where they actually physically look like they're on the out, you know, look poor, I think it's disgusting.